think how the resume is going to look like, or is going to be formatted, or how we should be structuring it. So this is the example of my resume. So that's how I do it. So that's what I am proposing that you should follow as well. And I've researched it. It's an industry standard. I've read about it. And these are a few of the key things that I'm going to highlight here for you. So you start with a name, put that in bold, a little bit of a larger font. Then you only include location, phone number, and email at the top. Then include your LinkedIn profile information, which is very important these days as well, because whether you like it or not, the employer tend to go and look at your social media profile. So be careful and be cautious of the fact what you are posting. And for the LinkedIn, we can certainly need to align those with your resume so that when employer visit the LinkedIn profile, it's there. So LinkedIn, we'll talk about it later. So you would see that I have put 3 top titles on top of my resume, like Senior Project Manager, IT, Program Manager, Direct Programs. So these are, you can choose to put 2 titles, you can choose to put 3 titles. It's up to you, and it's up to the requirement that you're looking for. For example, you are doing a job hunt, I would recommend putting in 3 titles, which are very relevant, right? Just don't put anything that is not relevant at all. Like, for example, if you are putting in that you are a chef, and then you are a project manager, and then you are also a baseball player. So these are probably different professions, which are try to find out your niche, try to find where you want to apply and put those as title. And you would see a notice on the right side, I've put O&O for LinkedIn. This means that this is important these days, that if you're open to new opportunity, this is a hashtag that you would be putting on top of your LinkedIn profile if you're looking and hunting for a job. So we'll start with the professional summaries. For those of folks who have more than 7-10 years experience, they should go for 7 lines at the start of the professional summary. And for those of you who would have to stick to 1 page, just focus on summarizing your experiences to 4 lines. So 4 to 7 lines, in between 4 to 7 lines, you should be good. So core competencies and achievements should be the second heading for you. So 5 to 7 bullets I would recommend putting in there. Where you're going to get these bullets from? So go to your professional experience. Within that, in the resume, you must have included the achievements and competencies as part of your professional experience. So pull those out from there. From the professional experiences, and then pull that out and put that as part of the core competencies and achievement section. Please make sure that the examples that you're providing are quantifiable or are measurable, and can also generate interest of the reader. And remind you that this is the only first page that employer or the hiring manager are going to have a quick scan, because now we hear that they have only 6 to 10 seconds to review each resume. So they would have a quick glance. So just focus on the professional summary and core competency. And I think that's what the hiring manager is going to be able to look at within 6 to 8 seconds. So what to include, just I can give you an example. For example, you work with a charity or with a not-for-profit organization, you help them and you help them raise funding. So just say that I help the organization raise 300% more funding last year. Or if you are able to save on some cost for your organization, you can also say that I was instrumental in helping my organization save 25% of the operational cost because of my project. Then in terms of the project professional experience, I've already talked about it. Maximum last 15 years of experience we should be considering and should be including. And that's what I would suggest. I would even suggest include up to 12 years within your professional experience. And there's a way to address the other experience as well, which you have gained in your previous life or before the cutoff date, what I'm proposing. So earlier work just include company name, location, job title, and no dates or further details are required in this. So anything beyond 15 years, just include the date and time, date and location, etc. Education, as we have already talked about, preferably no dates. Certification, whatever trainings you have done in the last 5 years or certification, include those. But if you have done your project management professional certification, for example, 8 years ago, for sure you will be including that. For those of you who are just very new, who have just graduated, who have less than 1 year or 2 years of experience, I would recommend them to use a different order for this for their resume. Instead of starting with the professional experience, they can, or you can rather, include the education right after the core competencies. Include the education, and which would be followed by the professional experience. So a little bit of a tweaking for people or who are very fresh and just graduated or have just started their professional career and looking for a job. Then I've already talked about the certification. Let's move on to honors and awards. So scholarships, employee recognition awards, anything that you think that is important to include, just include that. And volunteer experience, which is very relevant to the job that you're applying for, or anything that is very significant. For example, you work serve as one of the board of director on a charity. You work as an advisor in the fundraising effort of a hospital. So experience like that, try to highlight your community service and where you were able to manage the successful projects or successful initiatives.